The whole education landscape, it's changing so fast, isn't it?
It really is. Feels like warp speed sometimes.
And right at the center, you've got artificial intelligence, AI, starting to show up more and more in schools.
Definitely.
So for school managers, administrators, the people leading districts, understanding AI, well, it's not just nice to know anymore. Feels pretty essential now.
Absolutely essential. I mean, AI isn't some far-off future concept. It's impacting things right now. Admin workflows, how students learn.
Right.
Leaders really need to get to grips with it. Not just planning for tomorrow, but dealing with today.
Exactly. So welcome, everyone, to the deep dive. Today, we're getting right into what AI means specifically for schools. We've been looking at a lot of material on this, research, articles, you name it.
Yeah, and our goal here is really to boil it down, to pull out the most important insights for you, the school administrator. We want to give you that core knowledge you need to think about AI strategically, understanding the upsides, but also, the potential downsides as you plan things out.
Think of it as us trying to cut through the noise, maybe, and focus on what really matters for the decisions you have to make.
Right.
So as we talk, maybe keep your own school or district in mind. What are your big challenges right now, operationally? And where do you see real chances to improve how students are learning? Because what we found suggests AI could be a pretty powerful tool on both fronts.
It could be a huge shift, really. Moving away from maybe more static systems or things that take up a lot of resources towards models that are, well, dynamic, responsive, and potentially much more efficient.
Okay, so let's jump in. What did we consistently see highlighted as the major benefits? When we looked across everything, one thing just kept coming up for actual learning.
Oh, yeah. Personalized learning. That was huge. The idea that AI can create these really adaptive learning systems.
Okay, adaptive. What does that actually mean in a classroom, according to what we saw? How is AI personalizing things differently?
Well, it's basically about analyzing student data, but like on a massive scale and in real time. The AI can see how a student is doing moment by moment, how fast they answer, the kinds of mistakes they make, which ideas click, and which ones they're struggling with. And based on that constant analysis, the system can adjust the content right then and there. Change the pace, maybe make exercises harder or easier, offer a different explanation, or even suggest extra resources, all tailored to what that specific student needs, like right now.
So it's not just one lesson plan for everyone anymore. The AI is sort of crafting a unique path for each student based on their specific interaction.
Exactly that. It moves past that one-size-fits-all model to something that can actually cater to different learning speeds, different styles. And the materials suggest this kind of tailoring can really boost an engagement sale. Students aren't bored or totally lost.
Makes sense.
And that potentially leads to better understanding, better outcomes overall.
That focus on the individual student. But we also saw a lot about gains outside of that direct student interaction, right, on the admin side.
Yes, definitely. That's another major area where AI was consistently highlighted. Streamlining, automating those, really time-consuming admin tasks.
The ones that pull people away from the main job.
Exactly. Tasks that pulled administrators and even teachers away from focusing on students or strategy.
So what kind of tasks are we talking about? What did the research say AI could realistically take on?
Well, think about grading loads of assignments. Or managing really complex schedules for classes, staff, rooms, processing student enrollment, and necessary stuff, but it just eats up hours and hours.
Right.
The research suggests AI can automate a lot of that.
And the knock-on effect of that automation.
It frees up people. That's the big thing. When the AI handles the repetitive, data-heavy work, administrators, teachers, they get time back.
Time for what, ideally?
Time for planning, developing new programs, or just spending more quality time actually interacting with students, supporting them. Strategic work, not just busy work.
That is huge. I mean, time is probably the most valuable resource in any school. And didn't the materials put some actual numbers on these efficiency gains? That's where it gets really interesting for budget holders.
They did, yeah, and the numbers are pretty striking. When you look at admin time on things like manual grading, data entry, building schedules by hand, the analysis we saw suggests that shifting to AI tools, automated reports, could cut that time by, well, potentially 40 to 60%.
40 to 60%. Wow. That's not just trimming around the edges. That's transformative for day-to-day operations.
It really is.
And how does that flow through to cost savings? Did they connect those dots?
They did. They linked those time savings and the automation directly to operational costs. Less need for manual labor on routine stuff, maybe consolidating different software onto fewer, smarter platforms. The suggestion was that schools could see annual savings of up to 30%.
Up to 30% annually. Okay, that level of saving, that could let schools redirect serious money towards PD or resources or maybe smaller classes.
Exactly. It really changes the financial picture. And it wasn't just framed as saving time or money, it was also about improving the quality of education. They contrasted sort of static traditional instruction with the real-time feedback and personalized paths AI allows. And the projection there was an increase in student engagement and retention rates, potentially by around 25%.
So faster, cheaper, and better student outcomes. That does sound like a compelling argument.
Yeah, the argument is that these efficiencies and quality improvements really reshape how schools operate. AI can cut down on human error in grading or data entry.
Sure. Consistency.
Ensure consistency, yeah. And provide timely help for students who are starting to struggle before it becomes a big problem.
Proactive rather than reactive.
Resources that were tied up in manual processes can be put towards actually improving teaching or student experiences.
Okay, so beyond efficiency and personalization, there was also talk about accessibility, right? Making education more reachable.
Yes, and that's so important for inclusivity. AI tools can offer real-time support that really helps break down barriers for a lot of students.
Like what kinds of features specifically?
Things like integrated speech-to-text for students who find typing difficult,
Okay.
or automatic language translation within learning platforms for English language learners, and personalized feedback on work, given immediately, helping students see where they went wrong and how to improve.
So it supports diverse needs more effectively, including students with disabilities.
That's the idea,
Yeah.
making the whole learning environment more responsive to each individual.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap the upside we saw. Big benefits in personalized learning. Major admin streamlining with some really impressive potential savings in time and money. And enhanced accessibility for all students. It paints a very positive picture.
It does. But, and this is a big but, the materials were also very clear. Adopting AI isn't simple. It's not just plug and play.
No, definitely not.
It's a major strategic move, and it comes with some serious challenges that schools absolutely have to think through.
Okay, so what were the biggest hurdles or risks identified? What do administrators need to be ready for?
Top of the list, data privacy and security, no question.
Yeah, you're talking about collecting and analyzing huge amounts of sensitive student data.
Exactly, and the trust of your entire community, parents, students, everyone, depends on making sure that data is protected.
So robust policies, strict compliance with regulations, baseline, right? Non-negotiable.
Absolutely, foundational. Another really critical concern that came up was bias, the potential for AI systems to actually reinforce or even worsen existing inequalities.
How does that actually happen with AI? It feels counterintuitive.
Well, AI learns from the data it's trained on.
Right.
So if that data already reflects biases in society,
I
it's like in language use or historical outcomes between different groups, the AI can learn those biases and then replicate them.
So in a school setting, that could mean unfair treatment, maybe in how it assesses students or recommends things.
Potentially, yes. It could lead to inequitable outcomes for certain groups if you're not careful.
So just buying an AI tool isn't the end of the story. You need to be constantly checking its impact on fairness.
Precisely. The research stresses that schools need to be actively working to prevent bias. That means things like regularly auditing the algorithms, checking the data they use, making sure they're promoting equity, not undermining it. It's an ongoing job.
And then there's the human element concern, right? Worries about technology dependence overshadowing the teacher's role.
Yeah, that definitely came through. A note of caution about leaning too heavily on AI, potentially weakening those vital human connections and relationships.
The things that are fundamental for student growth and just a positive school climate.
Right, because AI can deliver information or grade a quiz.
But it can't mentor or provide real emotional support or that kind of nuanced guidance.
Exactly, that human touch. The consensus we saw was that AI should always be seen as a tool to help educators, to complement what they do.
Augment, not replace.
Precisely. Not replace those essential human skills and interactions that are just irreplaceable for developing well-rounded people.
Okay. So we have this huge potential on one side, balanced by these really significant challenges, data, bias, the human factor, which leads to the practical question, how do schools actually do this? How do you integrate AI successfully? What strategies were recommended?
Well, one thing that came up again and again was professional development.
Makes sense. You can have the fanciest tools, but if your staff...
Don't know how to use them or aren't comfortable?
Yeah.
then they won't get used effectively, or maybe even cause more problems. So training is absolutely key, giving educators and administrators the skills, the understanding to actually weave these tools into their work in meaningful ways.
Building capacity, fostering a culture of responsible innovation.
Exactly that.
Another very practical idea was starting small, right? Pilot programs.
Yes, pilot programs were strongly recommended. They let a school test out a specific AI tool or system in a limited way first, maybe a few classrooms, a specific department.
Like a trial run.
Yeah, exactly. It gives you a chance to see how it works in the real world, spot any unexpected issues, and crucially, get feedback from the actual users, teachers, students, maybe even parents.
That feedback seems vital to make sure the AI is actually solving the problem you want it to solve for your school.
Absolutely. It helps you tweak the approach, make sure it's a good fit before you commit to a big rollout or investment.
And the last main strategy was about collaboration.
Yes, specifically collaboration with the AI developers themselves.
Okay, why is that important?
Well, working directly with the companies building the tools allows schools to potentially customize the solutions.
Tailor them.
Yeah, to help make sure the AI aligns really well with the school's specific goals, its values, its ways of working, makes the tools more relevant, easier to use, and ultimately more supportive of what the school is trying to achieve.
Okay, so bringing this all together, the potential for AI in schools looks really strong. Exciting possibilities for personalization, real efficiency gains with numbers to back it up,
And
better accessibility.
definitely a strong case on the benefits side. But just as strongly, the message is that actually getting there, successful adoption, it's not automatic.
No.
It takes really careful, proactive thinking about the ethics, the practical steps, the impact on teaching and learning. Finding that balance is key.
So by tackling those challenges head-on, data privacy, watching for bias, making sure AI supports rather than replaces teachers, administrators, can actually leverage AI effectively.
Right. It becomes an opportunity then, an opportunity to build schools that are more effective, maybe more efficient, and definitely more inclusive.
So as you, our listener, reflect on your own school and what AI might mean for it, here's maybe a final thought, building on everything we discussed, especially that idea of AI handling certain tasks. What does the role of the human educator need to become in this AI integrated future? How do we make sure those critical human things, empathy, critical thinking, creativity, social emotional support, aren't just preserved, but actually get stronger? What specific human touch skills become even more vital, absolutely indispensable, when AI is handling some of the more functional parts of the job?
That's a huge question for school leadership right now, a really crucial one.
Absolutely. Definitely something to keep thinking about long after this deep dive wraps up.
Thanks for joining us today.
We'll see you next time.